Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the 10th lecture of Natural Language Processing. So we are ending the 5th week of the semester and uh, we have covered 3 chapters of your textbook, and today we are going to start the 4th chapter. This chapter is on text classification, and specifically we'll talk about one machine learning technique in bit more detail, which is the naive Bayes classifier. And text classification, of course, as I mentioned last time as well, is a key task in NLP. It is used in many applications. And so I think the remaining part of this semester, we will be covering like 90% of this stuff would be classification, of course, in different settings and in different applications, but most of that would be classification. So this is the first lecture in that kind of series. So, so you have the second assignment has been uploaded for you. You should start working on it as soon as possible. I have uploaded the solutions to the quizzes as well on LMS. The solutions folder under resources, you will find the quizzes and their solution. And as I mentioned last time as well, please do look at the reading list document. I do update it with new links. So you can take a look and see if there's anything new that you can look up and read. So, so are there any questions or comments before I get started with the content on text classification? So as I said, we are going to start with text classification. So text classification in the simplest sense is the process of labeling some text snippet. It could be a sentence, it could be a few words, it could even be a single word with a label. And that label comes from a predefined set of labels. So, and we will see some examples shortly. So, but in general, we would like that if you have, so basically label text data from a set of predefined labels. ठीक है? Predefined, ठीक है? Labels. And text classification is predominantly done through machine learning. So we will see that as well. And there are a number of machine learning techniques that can be applied for text classification. We will study a few of them in this course. So let me go straight into some applications of text classification. So one of the very popular application of text classification is spam filtering or spam classification. So all of you are familiar with emails, and emails, some of the emails are unwanted and you would like to identify them and maybe move them to some unwanted or spam folder. So an automatic technique that can label emails as either spam or ham would be a very uh, common example of text classification, because the input that comes to you in the form of an email is typically text. Uh, of course, you can include other features as well, information on the header, and if there are some images or signature lines that are images in the email, you can include that as well. while making a decision, but primarily the text would give you clues regarding whether that particular email is wanted or unwanted, spam or ham. Okay, so this is a common application of text classification. And nowadays, spam filtering or spam classification is fairly well developed. And you get very high accuracy results for the approaches that are used for spam filtering. And much of that is based on NLP and machine learning. Of course, there are some other techniques that are used in the entire approach, but much of it is based on machine learning and NLP. So another application is trying to identify the authorship of some writing. And here you can see an example from US history. I'm not too familiar with US history, but there were some writings from the previous 2 decades, previous 2 centuries, that were disputed among multiple authors. So the idea here is now to use some machine learning technique to identify the possible authors or maybe label a particular author to each document that you have. So this is sometimes also called authorship identification problem, where you have a document and you want to assign an author to it. Okay, so here again, your input is text. So text, as you know, is characters, and those characters occur in a sequence, and those sequences are written in a particular format and syntax, and they convey specific semantics. So that's NLP, natural language. Okay, so this is another application. So a similar question that you would like to ask, and especially this is true on the web and the social media, is whether a particular piece of writing is written by a male or a female. So maybe applications for this could be, for example, for advertising purposes. So there are some categories of items that you would probably like to market to females and not to males, and vice versa. So to identify which are the people who are male based on primarily on how they write, their texture information is again a text classification problem. Okay, so obviously you can have writings that have very specific clues. For example, pronouns are used, I, her, she, so that might give out the gender of the person who is writing it. But there might be other clues as well, and those clues might be hidden entirely in the text. So you need to have some way of kind of identifying those clues and then magnifying them towards a correct classification of the document. Okay, so that process, of course, is the classification process. So another very common application of text classification is sentiment classification or polarity identification. And we now live in a culture where we kind of give feedback on everything that we do and buy, or basically on every, even behaviors as well as products. And those reviews are usually available on the web. So we need to have an automatic way of kind of labeling every review as either positive, which might be thumbs up, or negative, which is thumbs down, or there could be further finer grained classifications. For example, positive, neutral, and negative. Or there could be classifications from 1 to 7. 1 means strongly like, 7 means strongly dislike. Okay? And of course, related to this, you can have other types of classification as well, trying to find the emotions that are expressed in a particular writing. So whether a particular writing expresses a positive, you can say, so various kinds of moods. We'll discuss this in more detail as well. There's a finer detail of classification that can be done in sentiment classification or sentiment analysis. So we'll discuss sentiment analysis in detail as well in this course. So this type of classification is also text classification. And then we have what is known as topic classification. So this is again classification. If there is some writing, we would like to determine the topic or the main subject that is expressed in that particular writing. So this is commonly done for example, technical documents or research papers, for example. So in this particular slide, the research papers or documents are from the medical domain. And usually medical domain have very well-defined categorizations of subjects and topics. So we would like to assign a particular document to one or maybe more such categories. Okay? So a document, for example, might talk about epidemiology, for example. It might maybe talk about, let's say, for example, viruses. There might be some technical name for that. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. Okay? So in general, a particular document can be labeled with more than one label. Okay? Usually, and in many applications, we only talk about one label, but you can have multiple labels assigned to a particular document. So that is still classification. So similarly, you can think of classifying the entire IEEE Explorer library, which has papers from various areas of scientific disciplines, computer science, electrical engineering, photonics, physics, and so on. So this slide actually basically have the applications, some applications, of course, we have studied or looked at these before as well. So spam detection, ham detection, so assigning subject categories to various items. So authorship identification, gender identification, language identification is another classification. For example, nowadays we are highly multilingual. The web is also multilingual. Whenever you write something on SMS, you might mix multiple languages or might focus on one language once and the next tweet might be on in another language. So language detection is also very important. So this again is text classification. And of course, sentiment classification and analysis. So these are all applications of text classification. So as you have seen already, there are tons of applications that fall under text classification. And we will see later on that there are also applications that are more specific. And for example, you can identify the part of speech of a particular word. So let's say word LIVE likha hua, live. So the part of speech is either it's a noun, adjective, verb. So LIVE can be live also, which is a noun. You can live, of course, is a verb. Okay, but it is spelled the same way. So this again is a classification problem. So any questions so far? Okay, so no question, then let's move on. So let me move to my notes. So what is the idea? As I said before, we usually have a set of labels, C. So you can say C1 to CK. So these labels, for example, you can have just two labels, for example, positive and negative. So especially if you're doing sentiment classification, the two labels that you're going to talk about are positive or negative. And the idea is that you have a document D. So document, as I have mentioned before as well, document is a generic name for any textual unit. So it could be a word, it could be a sentence, it could be a paragraph, it could be multiple paragraphs, it could be even a corpus of documents. Okay? So it is up to us to define what a single unit of document is. Okay? So given any document, we would like to have, so basically assign a label from C to D. So this is the task of classification. Okay? In very simple terms. Of course, I have not introduced machine learning yet. So this is the simplest definition of machine learning. So one way that you can say that you can do classification is to use hand-coded rules. The meaning that you look at the documents that you want to classify, you have some knowledge of those documents as well as the labels. And based on those, you devise some simple rules that will help you classify those documents as one of those labels. So for example, if it was spam classification or email classification, you might be able to identify rules like if you see the word Nigeria in an email, if you see a word like oil, if you see a divorced, something like that, you might want to consider that email to be labeled. Okay. So obviously, this is, you can say, is time consuming. Devising these rules is not easy because humans have to pore over the entire collection of documents and figure out what are the best set of rules. And of course, it is not adaptive, meaning that as the emails evolve, you will have to evolve your rules as well, right? So you will have to, if you don't have any automatic way of adapting those rules, then you will have to go over the emails again, maybe after 3 months or 6 months, and devise or update the rules again, which is of course not practically feasible in most scenarios. So we would like to move towards automatic techniques. Okay, and those automatic techniques comes from machine learning. Okay, and specifically techniques that are, of course, you can use unsupervised machine learning as well, but here we are focusing on supervised. Okay. So what is the idea behind supervised machine learning? So, of course, many of you might already know this, but just for completeness sake. So supervised machine learning basically means that you already have some data available with you with the necessary labels. And then you would like to build a model from that data automatically, which is a machine learning technique. Once that model has been built, you can then go ahead and use the model to make predictions. Okay? So in our case, our data set would be capital D. So, and let's say I call this the training data. Okay? So in other words, my small d, which is one example from the training data, would be from the set D. Okay? One document would come from the set D. And let me say, although these notations might be overloaded sometimes, I hope you will follow me. So let me say that I call this N. The number of documents is capital N. Okay? So now given, and of course you already have C, which is a set of possible labels. So given this, you learn a model, and let me call that model F. Okay. So this is a model F, and from in a machine learning perspective or a statistics perspective, this is a mapping. F is a mapping from D, which is a set of documents, to C. Okay. So in other words, you have the function F, which you have learned from the training data. Of course, there is a slide, थोड़ी सी इसमें चीजें हैं which I'm intentionally not going into those details. Let's say the population concept है, or training set is a sample of the population. ये सारी चीजें हम machine learning में ज़्यादा specifically or from scratch discuss करते हैं. यहाँ I'm just trying to give you the idea that is done mostly in practice. So I'm not trying to be rigorously correct here. Okay. So FD. So let's say we have some document DI. This would then output the label CI for this document DI. Okay. So F is trained or learned from the training data which we had provided to the machine learning algorithm. Okay. Now, what is F? So F could be any number of machine learning algorithms. So F is a model, of course, is a model. And in machine learning, several models are available. ठीक है. और इनकी भी of course categorizations भी होती हैं. Probabilistic models होते हैं कुछ. For example, so there are various ways of categorizing them. Parametric models होते हैं, non-parametric models होते हैं, probabilistic models होते हैं. Probabilistic models के अंदर भी further divisions हैं, generative models हैं, discriminative models हैं. And then of course we also have neural networks which are statistical models. So there are various ways of and various techniques available for classification. So here we will start with actually probabilistic models, and specifically what is known as generative models. Okay? So these models are all based on the Bayes rule. Okay? And remember, we had studied language modeling before, which was also probabilistic. And they also involved probability theory like the product rule and so on. So in other words, this classifier is going to be very similar to the language modeling that we had studied already. Okay? So that's where I'm going to start first, and then we'll talk about naive Bayes more specifically later on. Okay, so any questions so far? ठीक है. तो हमारे पास goal क्या है? We want to find C, and now I'm writing these C and D as, you can say, variables. ठीक है. So input हमारे पास क्या है? Input हमारे पास of course. Let me again not write this. थोड़ा सा. Okay. So if I write the probabilistic formulation, probability of C given D. Okay. The class label given a document D. Okay. So let's say I have estimated this probability. And we have two options, let's say, C, let's say 1 and 2. So labels दो हैं C के. ठीक है. So let's say मेरे पास पता चलता है C is equal to 1 given D is equal to 0.4, or probability of C is equal to 2 given D, this would be equal to what? C is equal to 1, जब 0.4 है तो C is equal to 2 की क्या probability होगी? Because ये
Sir,
complete
0.6.
0.6
0.6.
0.6, ठीक है. So 0.6 क्यों है? Because there are only two possible values for C and the context is D. Context same है. So only two possible values of D. The sum of probabilities for the entire I wouldn't say universe, the entire event space should be equal to 1. So if C is equal to 1 की probability 0.4 है, C is equal to 2 की probability 0.6 होगी. ठीक है ना? So based on this, what label would you assign to D?
C is equal to 2.
ठीक है ना? So C is equal to 2 because based on probability theory, the label C is equal to 2 has a higher probability. There is lesser uncertainty in assigning a label of 2 to document D as compared to the label C is equal to 1. ठीक है? So the best label for D is 2. ठीक है ना? In machine learning terminology, we call this decision the maximum a posteriori label, MAP, maximum a posteriori. So why do we call it a posteriori? Basically, this is a probability that we have obtained after observing D, after having D in our hand, and based on the maximum probability we are assigning the label. So posterior after की बात आ रही है, then maximum selection की बात हो रही है. ठीक है? Now the question is, how do we estimate this probability? ठीक है ना? Probability आ जाए तो decision लेना बहुत आसान है. Of course, in machine learning there could be other variations as well. Weighted decisions भी ले सकते हैं या different cost हो सकती हैं. वो चीजें typically हम more detail में machine learning में पढ़ते हैं. तो यहाँ हम वो discuss नहीं करेंगे. We are assuming there is uniform cost for errors based on the labels. So the error for misclassifying 1 is the same as the error for misclassifying 2. In this case, we will be assuming that the errors are uniform. ठीक है. तो okay, so now let me apply Bayes rule here. C given D is equal to probability of D given C, probability of C divided by probability of D. ठीक है? So this is Bayes rule applied. Of course, you can say product rule हमने दोनों साइड पे लगा दिया, वो भी हो सकता है. Bayes rule basically product rule से ही आता है. ठीक है? तो this is Bayes rule. So right hand side पे हमारे पास अब 3 terms आ गई हैं. ठीक है? एक तो probability of C है, which is the probability of the label, prior probabilities of the label. No context is set here. So you can say prior probability of labels. ठीक है? So for example, probability of C is equal to 1 क्या है? So we'll talk about estimate shortly. So एक तो ये हो गया prior probability. दूसरी में आप term क्या है? Probability of D given C. ठीक है? अब इसमें context है some specific label. जब भी right side पे आप given में कोई चीज देते हैं, वो label जो value known होती है, it's not a variable. ठीक है? वो known है. Of course, for notational convenience वो मैंने लिखी हुई नहीं है, but right side पे it means that we know the label. It's either 1 or 2. ठीक है? So given C, what is the probability of the document? ठीक है? So this term in machine learning sense is sometimes also called likelihood, although we won't go into other details here, but you need to know some terms. This is the likelihood that this document would be generated, or this type of document or this document would be generated given the label is 1, for example. So what is the probability that this particular document would be generated given the label is 1? So this is called likelihood in machine learning as well, or statistics. ठीक है? So what is a document actually? So document, as we had studied in the previous chapter, is a sequence of words, right? तो मैं इसको फिर इस तरह भी लिख सकता हूँ, probability of, for example, W1, W2, W3, W के मैं कह रहा था ना वो थोड़ा सा टर्म्स लोडेड हैं, सो इसको मैं T कह देता हूँ, ठीक है, given C, ठीक है. So total number of words in the document is T, right? इस तरह लिख सकते हैं ना आप. अब ये जो एक्सप्रेशन है ये आपने लैंग्वेज मॉडलिंग में भी देखा था. लेट्स से आप वो सी को हाइड कर दें तो लैंग्वेज मॉडलिंग में पहले सारी यही चीजें थी. द सीक्वेंस ऑफ वर्ड्स दैट अपीयर इन रनिंग टेक्स्ट, ठीक है, एंड इट्स प्रोबेबिलिटी is what we actually find in language modeling, the n-gram language modeling, ठीक है. But now, so now basically this is language specific language modeling because there is a context given. Sorry, not language specific. Label specific language modeling, ठीक है. So in other words, let's say मैं वही पीछे चले जाता हूँ, पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव मेरे पास दो लेबल्स हैं. So मैं मॉडल बनाना चाहता हूँ W1 to WT given positive और probability of W1 WT given negative. Let's say sentiment classification की प्रॉब्लम है, ठीक है. So in other words, we are building two language models. One language model for all positive documents, one language model for all negative documents, ठीक है. Context fix कर दिया हमने और वो context are the labels for our particular text classification problem. ठीक है? Is this point clear? So any questions so far? I know this is a bit of notation, but it's important that you understand the concept and the relationship between language modeling and probabilistic text classification. Okay. Although I could have started directly from naive Bayes, but वो जो relation फिर आपका miss हो जाता है. ठीक है. So now we have the entire arsenal of language modeling with us. ठीक है. उसमें क्या था? यूनिग्राम था, बाईग्राम था, ट्राईग्राम था और फिर हमारे पास various techniques for estimating those probabilities. So for example, I like the movie. Let's say ये मेरे पास एक sentence था, ठीक है. Of course, let's say it occurred in document that were positives, ठीक है. अब इसकी मैं जो probability निकालूंगा, let's say मैं यूनिग्राम यूज करता हूँ, तो ये मैं किस तरह लिखूंगा? Probability of I, probability of like, probability of D, probability of movie, ठीक है ना. So this would be unigram language model. Of course, you will have the same model for positive as well as for negative. So for positive and negative, ठीक है. So given this understanding, आप फिर इसको प्रोसेस किस तरह करेंगे? लेट्स से मेरे पास यही डॉक्यूमेंट था, I like the movie. अब इसका मैंने लेबल लगाना है, ठीक है. What would I do? First I would consider the positive language model, ठीक है, और ये कैलकुलेट करूंगा probability of I, probability of like, probability of D, probability of movie. ये हो गया. ये of course all of this was given positive because language model was based on positive, ठीक है. या हर एक के साथ हर एक I given positive, D और like given positive आप लिख सकते हैं. But I didn't write that, but कॉन्टेक्स्ट से समझ आ रहा है कि ये सिर्फ पॉजिटिव का लैंग्वेज मॉडल है. अब ये हमारे पास पहली टर्म आ गई. उसके बाद मेरे पास प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ पॉजिटिव है जो प्रायर प्रोबेबिलिटी है, ठीक है, डिवाइडेड बाय प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ, डिनोमिनेटर में भी डी है, सिर्फ डी है, नॉट डी गिवन सी, ठीक है. सो ये मेरे पास आ गया फॉर पॉजिटिव. इसी तरह फॉर नेगेटिव I will have the same thing. नेगेटिव, ठीक है. तो लेट्स से ये आपने एस्टिमेट्स निकाल लिया. पहला वाला एस्टिमेट किसका था? दैट वाज फॉर प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ डी गिवन पॉजिटिव है, और दूसरा था प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ डी गिवन नेगेटिव था. तो लेट्स से ये आपने यूनिग्राम मॉडल्स बनाए हुए थे दोनों लैंग्वेज के, प्रायर प्रोबेबिलिटीज में निकाली हुई थी. दोनों आप कंप्यूटेशंस करेंगे एंड बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट वी हैड डिसाइडेड अर्लियर ऑन व्हिच इज द मैक्सिमम ए पोस्टेरियरी decision, we will choose that expression which has a higher probability, right? ठीक है ना?
सर ये गिवन पॉजिटिव और गिवन नेगेटिव वाला आप थोड़ा एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं? ये आर वी कैलकुलेटिंग ईच बेस्ड ऑन के पिछले वर्ड्स कितने आए हुए हैं? व्हाट इज, आपने स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट्स में लिखा हुआ गिवन पॉजिटिव.
हाँ, we are calculating the language models for each set of documents separately. We have a positive documents and we have the negative document. Positive documents का language model हमने separately निकाला because हमारा context positive का है. इसी तरह language negative का भी separately निकाला. तो जो मैंने
दोनों के लिए
ऊपर,
यानी कि दोनों के लिए हर टोकन की प्रोबेबिलिटी सेपरेट होगी, जैसे पी ऑफ आई गिवन आई, पी ऑफ आई दोनों की
जी
सेपरेट होगी.
सेपरेट होगी. फॉर एग्जांपल जब P of I गिवन पॉजिटिव एक आपके पास निकालना है आपने, P ऑफ I गिवन नेगेटिव भी आपके पास होगा. ये डिफरेंट होंगे. एंड इन जनरल देयर इज नो रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन द टू बिकॉज दोनों का कॉन्टेक्स्ट डिफरेंट है, ठीक है ना. तो मतलब I का जो प्रोबेबिलिटी है वो दोनों की डिफरेंट होगी, और उन दोनों की कोई रिलेशनशिप आप ए प्रायरी कोई नहीं डिसाइड कर सकते बिकॉज इट इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन टू डिफरेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट, विच वन इज अ पॉजिटिव डॉक्यूमेंट, द अदर इज नेगेटिव डॉक्यूमेंट. तो ऊपर जो मैंने एक्सप्रेशंस लिखी हैं वो मैंने गिवन पॉजिटिव नहीं लिखा, हर एक के लिए एंड पे मैंने ब्रैकेट में डाल दिया, दिस इज फॉर द पॉजिटिव, दिस इज फॉर द नेगेटिव, ठीक है. अब इसमें वन थिंग दैट यू माइट हैव नोटिस्ड, डिनोमिनेटर में मेरे पास प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ डी था, ठीक है. आई डिड नॉट एक्चुअली कंप्यूट दिस, ठीक है. तो व्हाई डिडंट आई कंप्यूट दिस? बिकॉज फॉर माय डिसीजन मेकिंग दोनों इक्वेशंस में ये सेम है, डिनोमिनेटर में प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ डी सेम है, ठीक है. सो it won't make any difference in my decision whether I actually explicitly find this probability or do not. My ordering would remain the same. Of course, then it would not be a true probability, but you can normalize it actually to be a true probability. But you can still make a decision without the true probability. The relation will still remain the same. Okay. So okay. So before I go to that, So ये मैंने यूनिग्राम लैंग्वेज मॉडल से बनाया था. So you can also make a decision based on bigram language model, higher order n-gram language models. So for example, मैं so higher order में लेता हूँ तो movie, bigram, let's say movie, I like the movie, the probability of the given like, ठीक है, and probability of like given I, and then probability of I alone, and then of course probability of C. Okay. So I can, if I use a bigram language model, of course class specific language model, I will do this. Okay. And I'll compute this for each class, and जिस class की ये वाली expression की value higher होगी, वो label मैं assign कर दूंगा. ठीक है. Any questions? So if I want to write it in expression form, then I can say the best label C, which I can say star, and I can also add MAP there just to emphasize that this is the maximum a posteriori probability decision that you have made, is then given by arg max for all possible values of C for this expression D given C probability of C. ठीक है. So इसमें D divided by probability of D मैंने नहीं डाला because we are just making a decision based on maximum value, and that maximum value would not be affected because the denominator is constant for this document. Probability of D. एक document की decision करना चाह रहे हैं ना, तो that's going to be the same. तो यहाँ बेशक मैं D भी लिख दूँ because this is a label for this document D. ठीक है. So this, what I've done so far is the Bayes classifier or Bayes text classifier. And more specifically, since we have already studied language modeling, is with classification based on language modeling using probability theory. ठीक है. So now, so how do we estimate these probabilities? So let's say I want to find probability of I for the context positive. So this is done in a similar fashion or like what we did for language modeling, only that we will collect all documents that are positive. So build the positive language model on all Ds in D that have label POS. Okay. And of course for all other words as well. Okay. इसमें वो सारी वो कहानी आ जाएगी, vocabulary आपकी बनेगी. If you have done any pre-processing, वो pre-processing के बाद vocabulary बनेगी. और कोई अननोन वर्ड का इशू है तो वो भी आप हैंडल करेंगे उसी तरह जिस हमने पहले स्टडी किया था. एंड आप एस्टिमेट किस तरह करेंगे? यू कैन यूज एनी ऑफ दोज टेक्निक्स. ठीक है. So any of those techniques, which means that you can use, for example, add one smoothing, you can add knee smoothing, for example, as well. Okay. Okay, now let me move on to what is known as a standard classifier, which you typically study in machine learning, and you'll see that it is related, exactly related to the models that we have already studied, which is known as a naive Bayes classifier. ठीक है. So naive Bayes classifier is a standard classic machine learning technique. It is a probabilistic classifier. It is a generative model, and it's based on a couple of assumptions. Okay. So in our context, again, we have the same thing. We want to classify C given a document D. Okay. We apply Bayes rule. So probability of D given C, and then we have probability of C, of course, divided by constant. Okay. Probability of D है denominator में. Okay. For this document, this denominator is a constant. Copyright कहाँ से आ गया? एक second. चलें वो I think you understand. वो मैं bracket डाला था तो copyright हो गया. अच्छा. तो अब so if I write this D given C as before, probability of W1 to WT given C, ठीक है ना? Now, previously I had considered this to be a sequence. ठीक है ना? Previously I had considered this to be a sequence as it is in natural language, W1, W2, W3. But now you can think of these as features. Each of these words or whatever your linguistic unit is a feature. ठीक है? तो उस context में I'll just switch the names. Probability of X1 to probability of XM, the M features, let's say, given D, given C. ठीक है? So these are now features, and features could be, for example, X1 is the word I, X2 is the word, let's say, you, X3 is the word, let's say, like, and so on. Okay? So these are now features, and these X's represent the variables for those features. And then they will, of course, these variables would have some values, then you can estimate those probabilities, and same thing follows from there. Then after this, basically, we make a couple of assumptions. एक तो ये feature जब हम ये बना लेते हैं, एक हम assumption already हमने कर ली है. So we do not consider ordering of words if each of these features were words. ठीक है? Originally हमने order consider किया हुआ था. But if you do this to be features, and X1 आप like भी बना सकते हैं, X1 आपका model भी हो सकता है, जरूरी नहीं है order होगा. They are just features, they are just variables representing some features. So what is the assumption that we have made? Order is not important. Okay? As long as we have the features. Okay? Then after that, we make another assumption. Of course, ये full joint probability of M features. Full joint को आपको simplify करने के लिए we make the assumption that each feature is indie of the others given the label. Okay? So given C, whatever that C is. Okay? So if you do this, then what happens? वो जो आपका ऊपर जो था joint था, full joint था, वो products में break हो जाएगा. So essentially you have LaTeX का जो product होता है pi, ठीक है? Pi, let's say index over I, then you have probability of X I given C. ठीक है? So that whole thing becomes this. So probability of X1 to XM given C is now simplified to that expression. ठीक है? So दो assumptions हमने की. एक assumption ये की कि order is not important. दूसरी assumption हमने ये की कि each feature is independent of the others given some particular label. ठीक है ना? So we have reduced that joint to now a products of single variables, probabilities of single variables given the label, given the context. ठीक है? So if I write this expanded form में लिखूं, let's say probability of x1 है given c, probability of x2 given c, and so on. ठीक है, probability of xm given c. ठीक है, तो ये this is actually exactly similar to what we have already studied previously. किसके साथ सिमिलर है ये? हमने पीछे लैंग्वेज मॉडलिंग स्टडी की थी, वेरियस n-ग्राम स्टडी किए थे. तो दिस इज सिमिलर टू द यूनिग्राम लैंग्वेज मॉडल फॉर क्लासिफिकेशन. ठीक है, ऑफ कोर्स यहाँ मैंने एक्सिस लिखे हुए हैं, वहां पर वर्ड्स होंगे. देयर इज अ स्लाइट डिफरेंस है, वो अभी हम थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करते हैं, बट बिग पिक्चर मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, एक्चुअली देयर इज नॉट मच डिफरेंस. सो इफ ए वर्ड फॉर एग्जांपल डज नॉट अकर, उसका ऑफ कोर्स वेरिएबल तो होगा, वोकैबुलरी है ना, एम इज अ वोकैबुलरी. कोई वर्ड उसमें नहीं आ रहा, उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी आप लिखेंगे, पर वो हम जो प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अभी नेक्स्ट देखते हैं तो वो एक्चुअली निकल जाता है. इट बिकम्स एग्जैक्टली द सेम. ओके, so any questions so far?
So ये जो फीचर्स कहे आपने, हम फीचर्स ले रहे हैं एक्स को, तो ये वही वर्ड्स हैं जो फीचर रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, उनको हमने फीचर्स कहा है.
जी जी. So फॉर एग्जांपल जो मेरा ऊपर एग्जांपल थी, आई लाइक द मूवी. ठीक है ना, तो ऑफ कोर्स ये तो एक डॉक्यूमेंट था, बट फीचर्स हमारा पूरे कॉर्पस से निकलता है, जो वोकैबुलरी होती है. ठीक है ना, इसलिए मैंने इसको लेंथ m भी दिया. प्रीवियसली हमने वोकैबुलरी का साइज m डिफाइन किया था. ठीक है ना, so the set of all possible features is m. ठीक है ना, so फिर ये होगा कि हमने हर एक फीचर को एक वेरिएबल नेम दिया हुआ है. फॉर एग्जांपल x1 is about the word I, x2 is the word, let's say, like, x3 is the word the, x4 is the word, let's say, movie. But there might be other words in the vocabulary. x5, let's say, is a, x6 is, let's say, excellent, x7, let's say, is whatever, bad, and so on. ठीक है ना, तो जब भी हमारे पास कोई नया डॉक्यूमेंट आता है, उसमें हमने फिर देखना है कि ये वाले फीचर्स हैं कि नहीं है. जो हमारा पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट था उसमें आई, लाइक, दी और मूवी सिर्फ थे, तो उनकी प्रोबेबिलिटीज हम कंप्यूट करेंगे और उसमें डाल देंगे. ऑफ कोर्स दूसरों की भी करेंगे, बट वी विल सी कि वो आगे जाके वो इम्पैक्ट नहीं कर रहे होते. तो वोकैबुलरी एक्चुअली हमारी फुल होगी. और
तो वो सारे वर्ड्स भी आएंगे जो हमारे हमारे उसमें नहीं है डॉक्यूमेंट में, वो उसके
वो भी
हम
आएंगे,
लेंगे
एग्जैक्टली वो भी आएंगे. एटलीस्ट अभी तो जिस तरह मैंने ऊपर फॉर्मुलेट किया, अभी आएंगे वो. फॉर एग्जांपल मैं जब ये लिखूंगा, ये पूरे में प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम आई इज इक्वल टू 1 to m का लिखूंगा पूरा. प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ एक्स आई गिवन सी. ठीक है,
ठीक है.
मैं पूरे का लिखूंगा. ऑफ कोर्स प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ उसमें एक्सीलेंट जो होगा, ऑफ कोर्स एक्सीलेंट डज नॉट अकर, तो जो भी आपका वेरिएबल का उसको आपने देना है, 0 देना है, जिस तरह भी देना है, तो वो प्रोबेबिलिटी भी लगाएंगे उसमें कंप्यूटेशन. बट एज वी विल सी कि जब एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोबेबिलिटी मॉडल में ये सेम हो जाता है उससे. ओके, लेट्स मूव ऑन टू दैट. सो वन पर्टिकुलर फॉर्म ऑफ नाइब बेस इज कॉल्ड मल्टीनोमियल नाइब बेस. ठीक है, सो मल्टीनोमियल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन आपने कहीं पढ़ी होगी, एंड आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ऑल ऑफ यू हैव फॉरगॉटन. प्रोबेबिलिटी के साथ यही होता है कि यू टेंड टू फॉरगेट वेरी इजीली. Of course you might have studied other probabilities as well. Bernoulli distribution एक है, ठीक है ना, binomial है, ठीक है, एक categorical distribution है, एक multinomial distribution है. So I'll just refresh you with this, not with the rigor of statistics or probability, but with the basic idea. ठीक है, तो मल्टीनोमियल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या होती है, उसमें जो इवेंट स्पेस होती है ना, वो हमारे पास एक फिक्स्ड इवेंट स्पेस, मतलब फिक्स पॉसिबल इवेंट्स होते हैं. ठीक है, इन आवर केस दिस वुड बी occurrence of words, if words are considered as our linguistic unit of interest. So in other words, occurrence of any term or type from the vocabulary. ठीक है ना, so M जो है, so there are M distinct events, possible events. ठीक है, तो एक्सपेरिमेंट क्या होता है, एक्सपेरिमेंट ये होता है जब भी आप कोई एक कॉइन फ्लिप करेंगे, कॉइन जब आप फ्लिप करते हैं उसमें दो पॉसिबल इवेंट्स होते हैं, हेड होता है या टेल होता है. आप कॉइन फ्लिप करते हैं तो हेड आ जाता है. ठीक है ना, अब यहाँ आप ऐसे समझें कि आप एक डाइस फ्लिप कर रहे हैं जिसमें m पॉसिबल साइड्स हैं. ठीक है ना, m पॉसिबल वर्ड्स हैं, तो वो आप फ्लिप करेंगे तो एक वर्ड आ जाएगा आपके पास. ठीक है ना, ऑफ कोर्स उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अपनी होगी, बट लेट्स से खैर वो बाद में निकलेगी, तो वो एक वर्ड आएगा. ठीक है ना, तो लेट्स से मैंने वो एक वर्ड फ्लिप किया तो मेरे पास एक वर्ड आ गया डी. ठीक है, वो डाइस फ्लिप की विद m साइड्स, फ्लिप किया तो वर्ड डी आ गया. फिर मैंने फ्लिप किया तो लेट्स से वर्ड आई आ गया. तो फिर मैंने फ्लिप किया तो वर्ड लेट्स से मूवी आ गया. फिर मैंने फ्लिप किया तो लाइक आ गया. फिर मैंने फ्लिप किया तो दी फिर से आ सकता है. ठीक है, इस तरह फिर किया तो लेट्स से आई फिर आ गया. So this distribution is over the counts of times that you see a particular event when you make t experiments. t क्या चीज है, t वो डॉक्यूमेंट लेंथ थी. ठीक है ना, रिमेंबर मैंने t वेरिएबल यूज किया था, t. ठीक है ना, w1 w2 w3 to wt, नंबर ऑफ डिस्टिंक्ट वर्ड्स कितने हैं मेरे डॉक्यूमेंट में, t थे. ठीक है ना, सो यू रोल दिस डाइस t टाइम्स और फिर देखते हैं, काउंट करते हैं हर एक वर्ड कितनी दफा आया है. एंड दिस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इज ओवर द काउंट्स ऑफ द अकरेंसेस ऑफ ईच ऑफ दिस वर्ड. तो इसको मल्टीनोमियल कहते हैं. रिमेंबर बर्नौली और बाइनोमियल में क्या है, बर्नौली जस्ट वन एक्सपेरिमेंट, हेड होता है या टेल होता है, और बाइनोमियल क्या है कि आपने 10 दफा एक्सपेरिमेंट किया है और आपने काउंट करना है कि हेड कितनी दफा आया है या टेल कितनी दफा आया है. दिस इज द सेम थिंग. अब यहाँ हमारे पास पॉसिबिलिटीज m है, नॉट 2. m पॉसिबिलिटीज है और हमने t दफा एक्सपेरिमेंट किया है और फिर देखा है कि हर एक वर्ड कितनी दफा आया है. ठीक है, so this is the underlying distribution that we are going to focus on for this multinomial Knight Bayes. Or how do you estimate each of these probabilities? So you estimate using for example the techniques that we have already studied, maximum likelihood estimate, yeah, add-one smoothing for example. And actually, since this is more or less unigram independent, no sequence, add-one smoothing is still fine. इसमें इतना इशू नहीं हो रहा. लैंग्वेज मॉडलिंग में स्पेशली फॉर हायर ऑर्डर n ग्राम्स में उसमें इशू होता था, बट इधर इतना बड़ा इशू नहीं है. तो ओके, सो हाउ डू वी डू इट. सो बेसिकली लेट्स से मैं मेरे पास जो ट्रेनिंग डेटा सेट है, ट्रेनिंग डेटा है. ठीक है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी विल डू इट लैंग्वेज क्लास स्पेसिफिक. हर एक क्लास के लिए सेपरेट बनाना आपने, जैसे पहले भी हमने लैंग्वेज मॉडल हर एक क्लास के लिए सेपरेट था. यहाँ भी ये प्रोबेबिलिटी एस्टिमेट्स होंगी हर एक क्लास के लिए सेपरेटली होंगे. सो लेट्स से मेरे पास पॉजिटिव के डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं, उसमें लेट्स से जस्ट टू गिव एन एग्जांपल, दी मल्टीपल डॉक्यूमेंट्स होंगे. लेट्स से दी 3 दफा आ रहा है और लेट्स से लाइक 2 दफा आ रहा है और बैड 1 दफा आ रहा है. ठीक है, so how do we estimate the probability of let's say D given positive? So maximum likelihood में simply 3 divided by the total number of words that we have seen. अब इस केस में हमारे पास 3 D आ रहे थे, 2 लाइक आ रहे थे, 1 बैड आ रहे थे. 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 6. ठीक है, so this is the multinomial probability for this word. And this is the estimate that we'll use. And if you want to do advanced smoothing, उसी तरह ही होगा, एक प्लस ऊपर हो जाएगा, नीचे आपके पास जितनी vocabulary थी वो ऐड हो जाएगी. So if you wanted to do this with advanced smoothing, ये होगा basically 3 plus 1 divided by नीचे मेरे पास 6 था. So 6 हमारी vocabulary क्या थी by the way? कितने distinct words हैं? 3 हैं. ठीक है ना? तो ये advanced smoothing होगा. ठीक है. अब ये probability है आपकी of this thing. ठीक है. But let's say मेरे पास एक document है, उसमें let's say like 2 दफा आ रहा है. According to the formulation जो मैंने ऊपर लिखी थी, उसमें मैं क्या करूँगा? Probability of like given positive was x1, x2, x3 सारी दफा आएंगे. ठीक है. तो दूसरी दफा फिर आएगा probability of like given positive. So in other words, जो एक वर्ड जितनी दफा आ रहा है, यू कैन थिंक ऑफ इट कि आपने उसका पावर ले लिया. ठीक है. सो इफ इट अकर्स ट्वाइस, उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी की आप रेज टू पावर ऑफ 2 कर देंगे आप. लैंग्वेज मॉडलिंग में बाय द वे यही होता है. लेट्स से आपके पास लाइक 2 दफा आ रहा है सेंटेंस में, तो दोनों दफा आप प्रोबेबिलिटी उसकी लिखेंगे एक्सप्रेशन में. ठीक है. ओके, वी आर एक्चुअली रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम आल्सो एज वेल. और आज मेरे ख्याल से किसी ने क्वेश्चन भी नहीं पूछा. टू मच लगता है मैथ हो गया या टू मच ड्राई स्टफ. एनी क्वेश्चन?
सर जो प्रोबेबिलिटी हमारे पास x1 की है, जैसे i हमने कहा x1 i है फॉर एग्जांपल, तो वही w1 भी हमारा i था, तो वो दोनों की प्रोबेबिलिटी तो सेम ही है ना, जो नाइव बायस में हम कर रहे हैं और जो नॉर्मल बायस क्लासिफिकेशन में किया.
हाँ जी. तो एक्चुअली ना ये स्लाइड इसमें वही है चीज. बेबी आई कैन क्लियर दिस अप. सो x1 जो वेरिएबल है ना, दिस इज एक्चुअली देन द काउंट ऑफ द टाइम दैट अ पर्टिकुलर वर्ड अकर्स. ठीक है. तो और मल्टीनोमियल में जब इसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी निकालेंगे, वो जो प्रोबेबिलिटी मैंने ऊपर एस्टिमेट की है वो इससे पावर हो जाती है. और लैंग्वेज मॉडलिंग में भी इसी तरह ही होता है. जब 2 दफा कोई वर्ड आता है, दोनों दफा आप उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी लिखते हैं, तो ये आइडेंटिकल बन जाता है.
ठीक है.
ठीक है ना. तो मल्टीनोमियल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में क्या होता है कि इफ once you have estimated the probability, the number of times that a word occurs, you basically उस probability को उससे multiply कर देते हैं. So for example, let's say so coin की मैं बात करता हूँ, just 2 possibilities. Let's say 0.4 probability है heads की. ठीक है. So what is the probability that I get 2 heads? You basically do it 0.4 square होता है ना. ठीक है ना. So that's what is happening here.
ओके सर.
ठीक है.
जी.
So I think I will not move any further from here. यहीं से मैं next time start करूँगा and we will finish this. Nothing very I would say complicated here. एक दो और variations भी हैं which is Bernoulli knife Bayes, and वो भी quickly मैं discuss कर लूँगा and then we'll move on. कुछ पे variations हैं with respect to sentiment classification and with respect to bias, वो फिर हम discuss करेंगे. I think maybe one more lecture or maximum 1.5 more lecture we'll be able to finish this. ठीक है, so next class में आपका फिर quiz भी है, so as usual, and for NLP I am planning कि जो आपका 7th week का जो weekend होगा उसमें फिर आपका एग्जाम हो जाएगा, तो for those who are doing data mining with me वो 8th week के बाद होगा. So if that is fine with everyone, I will send an email before this weekend to both groups and let you know. Okay, anything else? ठीक है, तो anything else, any feedback regarding this course so far? Anything else? Project की मैंने handout last time दे दिया था, so please start looking into the projects as well. तो quizzes जो
एग्जाम होगा वो लीनियर होगा नॉन लीनियर होगा?
एग्जाम,
यस सर.
जो अभी तक मैंने जो सोचा, ऑल्दो ये 100% फाइनल नहीं है, वो 2 पार्ट्स होंगे. एक पार्ट जो होगा वो लीनियर वाला होगा, दूसरा पार्ट वो हाथ से करने वाला होगा.
तो वो क्या हम पिक्चर्स अपलोड करेंगे?
हाँ, पे पिक्चर्स अपलोड करेंगे जी.
ओके सर. सर प्रोजेक्ट रिलेटेड डिस्कशन ऑफिस और में कर सकते हैं या अभी हम क्लास में भी कर सकते हैं?
आज ना करें, बिकॉज शायद मैंने अभी 1.5 मिनट तक मैंने निकलना है. ऑफिस आवर्स में आ जाएं आप कल इंशाल्लाह.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.